Hi, it's Little from Made by Marley. Today I'm going to be showing you how to decoupage some wooden craft black egg coasters for Easter. So I'm going to bring the camera down and I'm just going to get started. But before I do that, it's snowing in Scotland, so I'm just going to turn the camera that way. And can you see outside there, the sun, the snow? It's snowing today. I know we live in Scotland, but we don't actually get that much snow. That's that global warming for you. Okay, right, so I'll point the camera down and we'll get on with it. The Made by Marley Easter egg bunting. Look at the state of my nails as per usual. I've been painting something dark today. Comes in a pack of 6. So what I've decided I'm going to do before I put any words or anything onto them is I'm going to decoupage them, and I have these sort of Wedgwood sort of blue coloured napkins. Now I'm sure you all know what to do when you decoupage, but napkins come in layers, and if you want the best effect you need to peel off. Now some are 2-ply, so they just have one of the backings on, but some, and I think this might be one of them, no, I'm right, it is another ply. It takes a little bit of time to kind of pick the kind of backings off them, but you will get a much nicer effect if you do this. So it's just about peeling it, and so that's us down to the first one. Now, so before you start, it's a really good idea if you get rid of all your plies. Now these are pretty good, these bits here, drying brushes on or whatever, so you know, you use them. So what I'm going to do actually before I even start with this is I'm going to paint all of these eggs white, and then we'll get on with decoupaging them. So I'll start now and I'll paint them off white on camera, and by the power of magic the next time you look at them they'll be white. So I've painted them all white. I've painted the backs white as well, so that it's a neater finish. Now what my intention is to do with these is, I've already cut out some of the backs, but what I want to show you is I want to have the main floral as the design, and I want to try and put it on as one. So what I'm going to do is, the way I've done the rest is I just drew roughly around the egg shape like this, and I cut them out. Now you know when you see like a kind of egg and it's drawn like this, and it's got the bits that come like that. I don't know if you can see it. Like there. I'm going to use the border to do the lines across the egg. So I'm going to stick all these on flat first onto my eggs, and then we'll come back when it's time to put all the detail on. But for those that have never decoupaged anything before, I'm going to quickly show you how to do it. Now I've got all the plies off this, so it's the thinnest, and the reason why I did it white was so when it put it on it would be white underneath. If you're using green, I would suggest you use green. A darker one, use a darker colour, because if you just put it on, let me show you on this, like the back of the shabbit, if you just put it on there it would show through as brown, and it doesn't look as nice. So a nice crisp white, and I just painted them with the usual paint. I use Rust-Oleum chalk paint, which is furniture paint, which I just use for all sorts of wooden crafts now. So you get your Mod Podge, and it's just the ordinary stuff. I will be coating them with the hard coat at the end or varnishing, but this is what we're going to use. And so I've got a really small brush here, so if you coat your coaster now, you really need to make sure that you do the edge as well, because we want it to come over the edge, and we might need to make some cuts to make it perfectly not so wrinkled around the edges, because we don't want big wrinkles where it's all attached. So make sure you've got plenty of Mod Podge around your edges, and I'm working quite fast because I'm in quite a warm room and Mod Podge notoriously dries incredibly quickly. So if I do it this way, I can show you quite quickly. Now you're going to take much more time. Just make sure it's got it all around the edges and all your edges are done. Now you're going to put your decoupage on it, and then you're not really, to be fair, going to fiddle with it too much. You're just going to leave it. Now these edges, if you just snip them in sections all the way around like this, you'll be able to fold it better around the edges and you'll get a crisper front. So by cutting it like that, do you see, you know, like that round the edges? We can sand off these loose bits at the end, but I'm going to need some cuts on this side. It's started to just do it anyway. So now, I'm not going to rub that too much. It's going to dry with a few wrinkles, but you get the idea of what we're doing here. So a nice crisp white coaster with the napkins on. Now I'm going to go and do the rest of them until I've got all 6 done, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to use the band of this napkin as a kind of stripe, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to cut it out and I'll give you a quick look at what I'm intending to do. These bits are kind of fiddly, but I think it'll be worth it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these bits across the egg. Kind of bring it up to the camera so I can show you, you know, like that, so for the lines of the egg. So that should look quite effective. But what I'll do is stop the camera and I'll do the rest of my my eggs first, and then we'll come back and I'll show you me sticking the little lines on. Right, so what I've done is every single one has been covered front and back. They've turned out nice and well, relatively smooth. Now they're going to get a coat of hard coat Mod Podge when they're all completed. If you get something sharp, like a little stick you can poke through just to make sure you've got your hole, you know, for when you go to string them. So you can do that. Now these are not quite finished yet. I'll just make the holes in these so you can see. What I have done is, what I was explaining on this one here, is I've went and done the border on this one. Now obviously it's straight, so cutting it out in a circle it isn't going to be, so I've kind of made it the best I can. So it's something to be mindful when you're looking through your craft stash, if you feel like making some of these. Something that's got maybe a border, it'd be good if it had a circle border, it'd be brilliant, you could cut them out and just glue them on, but these are the border of the napkins. So cut the border out now. I'll just show you how I did that. I just got the napkin and cut it straight down there. I'm sure you'll take more time than I'm doing. And then I just flipped it round and cut off the white edge. My hands are covered in paint. I know I don't have any subscribers yet, but when I do have subscribers, I'm going to be horrified at the comments that people might make about the state of my hands. But I'm always busy and I'm always doing things, so my hands are the least of my cares. Now, so you need the Mod Podge again, and we'll do this one here. So I just kind of roughly put the glue where I think I wanted it to go, and I got my little line of border and I just kind of folded it into the kind of shape I wanted it. That one's actually rounder than the last one, it's not a square. And then if you put a little bit of Mod Podge on the corner like that and just pull it, it makes a nicer, cleaner edge. So I'll do the next one just so you've got to grips with that. So round in a circle, a little bit on each edge, and just kind of almost like if you do anything with fabric, you're just kind of gathering it round like that. That one's not as neat as the last one. I would have liked it to have been right up to the edge. Like so. Again, I'll just put a little bit of Mod Podge on there just to finish off my edge and pull it. And I might have enough just for an end one here. So like that. A little folded gather and round to the edge like that. Bit more Mod Podge. Oops, coming off my finger. That wasn't what I wanted there. Pull off that end. I'm just going to join this end on here because I don't like, oops, helps if I keep a hold of them. I didn't like how that was finished off there. So there I am saying so again. Obviously as well, when I start getting subscribers, they're going to comment all the time about how many times I say so. So that's what you're going to do, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of them. And what I'm also going to do is, I can just grab them from here, I have some plain wooden craft beads. I'm going to take 6 of these wooden craft beads and I'm going to paint them white. So I'll do that off camera because who wants to watch some crazy woman painting some beads white? But that's what's going to happen. So the next time I put the camera back on, all the stripes will be done on all the eggs, and obviously these will be painted white, because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a tiny little bit off of this when these are painted white and adhere it front and back, so that I'm not making this into a garland. I'm going to make them into individual decorations so that when I string it, it's going to have a bead up here and with some of the white and some of the pattern on it. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get my silhouette and I'm going to put some words in it, probably on in either, I don't know what colour, maybe white, or I think black would be too heavy. And I think what I might do is I might put a kind of tassel on them up here. I've got some, this keeps falling off from my fingers, I'm sorry about this. Yeah, messed that up. I'm going to have to fix that off camera in a minute. I've stuck my finger on there and it's made it messy looking. So yeah, I'm gonna, that's the sort of plan of where this is going to go, and I think I might put a tiny little bit of paper on this edge here as well with this one. So when you come back next, they'll all have the stripe on them. These beads will be painted white and we will crack on with everything else. Fabulous. So here are all the decals, decoupaged. I've given them a coat of Mod Podge, which is the hard coat sealer, and they've all got their stripe. Now, what I did was I painted the beads off camera, and I'm just going to show you what I've done with the rest of them. I got a piece of the striped edging and I put it round each bead, and so I'm just going to do this on camera. I'll just use the hard Mod Podge, and so I just coated quite liberally each of the beads like that, and I just got a piece of the edging and I just glued it round the middle of each bead like that, and then I just gave it another coat of hardener. Now off camera I hit upon an idea, so that I'm just going to set that over there to dry for a minute. I decided to drill another hole in the bottom. So they come with these coasters come with a hole in the top. I went out and to the workshop and I drilled another hole in the bottom, and they'd had the hard coat on them, so they were fine to, you know, drill the hole through. And what I also did off camera, and I'm going to show you on camera how to do these, is I made some little tassels which we're going to attach to the bottom of our coaster like that, because I'm going to make each one of these an individual decoration. So I'm going to show you how to make the tassel. They're not difficult to make, and you start with a piece of card like this, but this sort of size dependent, this kind of gives you, as you can see, it kind of gives you the length. So depending on if you want a shorter tassel, you cut your card short. I've doubled it up so it's thicker. I'm just going to put my yarn down on the ground because it's easier to work with, and all I did was got my card and I wrapped it round over and over and over and over again. I'm sure you've seen these made before, it's not tricky, until you think you've got a thick enough tassel. How I kind of judge it is I kind of look at both sides and go, is that going to be thick enough? So I'm going to do a few more turns, and that to me is about right. And then what I did was I cut my string so it's level. I get another piece of string like this, and this bit here you go up to the top like this. So you've got it up to the top and you tie it in a knot nice and tight, twice round, so it's nice and tight. And then what I like to do is wrap both ends under and tie it tightly again like that. Then you can pull it off your card so it looks a bit like this, and these are your tassels. And what I do is I take my scissors, cut my ends like that, and then you need a piece to go round here. So I just get another piece of yarn and I just wrap it round, and you go round and round and round and round and round, making sure you don't get your top string caught in it. Like this, and then you get your two ends and you tie them in a knot. Tie them in a knot again, nice and tight, like that. And then you can just incorporate those ends in. If they're a little bit long and it needs a little bit of a haircut, do that. And then you have a tassel. And this tassel, I always kind of like a little bit of wire just to kind of help me get it through. All I do with this is I just double up a little bit of thin gauge wire, attach my string through my bead like that. And this one that we've just done that's over here drying, just do the same again. I just get my piece of thin gauge wire, put it like that, make it like a needle, put it through the bead and pull it like that. So we have 6 coasters, 6 tassels, and I'm going to now pause the camera because I'm going to show you how to put a decal on these before we string them all together. So what I've done is I've put the bead and the tassel, and I've put a hanger on the top so we can hang them, and I'm just about to put the decals on them, and then we're done. So it's been quite a time consuming set, but I think that they're worth the make. So I'm just going to go ahead and put Happy Easter on all of them. I don't know if you can see that because of the glint in the camera. And here's a little tassel. I'll give you close-up shots at the end. So I'm going to pause the camera, put the decal on them, and then give you a nice shot of them. So here we are, the finished, which is actually the Easter garland bunting kit, which I've turned into individual hanging decorations, which I think would be really nice on an Easter tree. So they're all finished, the back's all done, they've got their little tassel, etc. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a nice picture or maybe a short video of them just maybe hanging up. If you've liked this, please think about subscribing, and if you really like it and you want to share it with somebody else, feel free to share. I'm all about sharing. I'm Lil. It's been made by Marley, and if you're looking for the Easter egg garland, if you just go to our website www.madebymarley.co.uk. Thank you very much.